Advanced pole planning. In this video, I'm going to talk to you specifically about a topic that you need to help you with pole plans if they haven't yielded the right return. So if you want to know what you can do if your pole plan seemingly didn't work and how you can gain time, this is the video for you. So stay with us. So let me talk to you about the different steps in pole planning. The purpose of a pole plan is to identify a milestone and create a sequence to and back, or back and to, forward and backward pass, to identify what the job needs and what the trade needs to accomplish those tasks. When you do pole planning properly, where you start with the conditions of satisfaction, you identify your sticky meaning your sticky format, your sticky colors, where you go through and identify milestones and you establish the rules and you do your forward and backwards pass. You then will stack your zones on top of each other according to attack time, make sure you have diagonal trade flow, and then confirm that you've hit your milestone. Now, if you're working with a lean consultant or a lean in-house professional that doesn't know what they're doing, or trade partners that aren't used to this, you can end up with fairly generic sequences that aren't that properly vetted, especially if you see that everybody's just picking the same time. Like, let's say the first trade partner was like 7 days, then the second one's like, well, I guess 7 days, then 7, then 7. They didn't think about their most optimum speed. They're anchoring to a number. It's human psychology. So this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. When you do your pole plan, you're literally saying, okay, activity 1, how long does it take? Okay, what's next? Activity 2, how long does it take? What's next? What's next? What's next? When you come back, you say, what do you need for that activity? And make sure that you have the right predecessor activity for it. Then you go to the next one. What do you need? 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 And you make sure that your sequence is correct, that durations are correct, and that any missing activities have been found. Okay? Now, if your trades were all just like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and you're like, that pole plan didn't help me out very much, this is what I want you to do. I want you in your sticky format to say, what is your fastest duration, average duration, and what your longest duration is. Then I want you to say, what is your fastest overlap or tack time? What is your average overlap or tack time? And what is your longest overlap or tack time? What this will allow you to do is to say, okay, we're going to publish the pole plan and stack each other zone on top of itself according to the average durations and average tack time. But if that duration doesn't yield a good target, meaning a good throughput with a buffer ahead of the milestone, and you can't make your zone sizes smaller, then you're going to need to optimize another way. Okay, so this, and by the way, I have videos on pole planning that we'll link you to in the description below. If you are jamming with this advanced pole planning, please like and subscribe to the video. Now, let me go ahead and deliver on what I'm talking about. If every activity you have the fastest, the average, and the longest duration, and if you have the quickest overlap, the average overlap, and the longest overlap, you can literally map out your trades in a different manner. Watch this. Let's say your first trade has a really nice incline. They can go pretty fast, like let's say on a 2-day tack time. Let's say the fastest pace for your second trade was 3-day duration on a 3-day tack time. And let's say your third activity was a 2-day duration on a 2-day tack time. Well, obviously the first trade is fast, second one is slower, third one is fast. So now you're seeing a better picture. Your bottleneck is trade 2. So now what you'll do is you'll dig in. You'll say, okay, what if we pre-plan 2 crews? What if we improve the installation cycle? What if we adjusted the zone quantity? What can we do to go faster? So you dig, 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 and dig with that one contractor. And then if you legitimately find out that, oh my gosh, this is so good. If you legitimately find out that a 3-day duration and a 3-day tack time is the fastest speed, then you can go ahead with all 3 of them. Remember, you had 2 fast, 1 slow. You can pace everybody at that trade's pace. But if you are able to, by focusing on your trade bottleneck, actually optimize that 3-day duration and 3-day tack time and have it go faster, Then instead of just wasting time saying 333 and just putting down the average on your pull plan, you can actually explore options. And what if you found out we can be on a 2-day duration, 2-day tack time, 2-day duration, 2-day tack time, but we'll need 2 crews, 2-day duration, 2-day tack time, and now your face narrows. So by doing that bottleneck, that trade bottleneck analysis, you can really understand if there's other ways, more room to optimize your phase. This will allow you to not accidentally waste time. In pull planning, the way you don't waste time is you pull plan to one zone, and when you have the right number of zones, your phase will narrow. If you do what I just told you and you analyze your bottlenecks, your phase can narrow. Let me give you an example, a story as I close out, and I will link you to other pull planning videos, oh my gosh, and a Canva graphic that shows this to you in case you didn't like my hand movements, which I think people learn in different ways. So we're going to give it to you visually, we're going to give it to you verbally in the form of a podcast in the description below, and we're going to give it to you in a tactile manner where I'm explaining it right now. But there was a phase where the general contractor pull planned it and they were just like 5, 5, 5, 5. And then the general contractor was like, nope, shorten, shorten, shorten. And I'm like, whoa, no, 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 no. This is called trade burdening. This is called trade stacking. We're screwing trade partners at a time. We don't do that. Let's actually run it off real data. And we were able to go back and look at each individual activity, look at the fastest speed, average, and the slowest, and map out those bottlenecks. And we found 2 trade bottlenecks that were going slower than everybody else. And we were able to dig in and optimize those 2 bottlenecks and then pace everybody around it and pick up enough time at the end of that phase and gain buffers without hurting anybody's durations or shortening their durations. It comes down to the fact that you're analyzing your fastest, your average, and your slowest speeds, and you're identifying your bottlenecks and focusing there, working with trade partners, and then pacing everybody together. So this is advanced pull planning. That is how you do it. Those are the steps. I will include a podcast. I will give this to you in a Canva graphic. I will link you to videos about pull planning. And this is also coming out in our new book, Tact, Steering, and Control. I invite you to buy it on Amazon. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I really, really think you can implement this tomorrow. And again, if you have any questions, comment in the comment section below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.